Have you ever wondered what truly made Steve Jobs one of the most iconic leaders in modern history? Was it his vision, his relentless pursuit of perfection? Or was it something deeper, something about the way he thought, inspired, and sometimes intimidated people? Welcome back to the Mammoth in the Room, where we explore leadership lessons to stand the test of time. I'm Nicholas Bocconi, CEO of Mammoth Leadership Sciences, and today we're peeling back the layers of Steve Jobs' leadership, his genius, his flaws, and what business leaders can learn from his extraordinary, yet controversial career. Stick with us, because by the end of this episode, you'll have 3 actionable leadership takeaways. Here's a sneak peek. 1. Vision isn't enough. You must communicate it effectively. Number 2, excellence comes at a cost, but it doesn't have to cost your people. And 3, innovation isn't just about ideas. It's about execution. All right, let's dive in. And let me start with a question. Why was Steve Jobs fired from Apple, the very company he built? Steve Jobs wasn't just a visionary, he was an artist, a dreamer, a disruptor. He didn't just want to create computers, he wanted to create products that people felt something for. He wanted technology to be beautiful, intuitive, almost an extension of the human mind. And he was relentless about it. Take the launch of the original Macintosh in 1984. Jobs orchestrated an unveiling that felt more like a Hollywood premiere than a product launch. He introduced the world to the Mac with an emotional, theatrical presentation, punctuated by the now famous 1984 commercial, which positioned Apple as a company that would free humanity from the clutches of IBM's conformity. But here's the problem. Jobs' obsession with his vision made him blind to reality. He demanded perfection, disregarded budgets, and clashed with his teams, ultimately leading to his removal from Apple in 1985. Now, there is an evolutionary psychological insight. From an evolutionary standpoint, we gravitate towards leaders with bold visions. Research by Van Vogt and Rooney, 2014, suggests that humans evolved to follow leaders who paint a clear and inspiring future. However, when that vision is disconnected from practicality, it creates friction within teams. So what's the takeaway? Vision alone does not build empires. That isn't enough. A leader must inspire, but also listen, adapt, and align people towards execution. Now, ask yourself, is my vision clear, and do my people truly understand how to get there? Then, let's talk about a hallmark of so many successful leaders: excellence. Excellence can come with a cost, right? But should it? We know Steve Jobs was a handful as a leader, but why did so many employees in Apple even fear him? Jobs had a reputation for being ruthless. He demanded excellence and had no patience for mediocrity. He believed in pushing people beyond their limits, sometimes breaking them in the process. Here's a story. During the development of the first iPod, Jobs called his engineers into a meeting and demanded a smaller prototype. When they said it wasn't possible, Jobs walked over to a fish tank and dropped the current model in. As air bubbles rose to the surface, he pointed at them and said, "See that? That means there's space inside. Make it smaller." Was it effective? Yes. The result was one of the most revolutionary consumer products in history. But it also created a culture of fear. Employees worked long hours, endured relentless scrutiny, and some burned out entirely. Here's another evolutionary psychological insight. Leaders who set higher standards can inspire innovation, but a culture of fear often leads to burnout. Hogan and Kaiser, 2005, found that psychological safety, the ability to take risks without fear of punishment, creates more sustainable, high-performing teams. The takeaway? Demanding excellence isn't wrong, but it must be balanced with support. Ask yourself, am I driving my team towards greatness or pushing them towards exhaustion? And finally, so importantly, that the entire third section of my book is fully dedicated to it. Innovation isn't just about idea, it's about implementation. Let me ask you this. What made Apple succeed where others failed? It was this. Innovation wasn't just a buzzword for Jobs, it was his core philosophy. But here's a key difference between Jobs and other visionaries. He knew how to execute. Here's another story. The iPhone wasn't the first smartphone. The iPod wasn't the first MP3 player. But Apple's implementation of its vision, the seamless integration of hardware and software, the elegance of design, the relentless pursuit of user experience set them apart. When Apple was developing the iPhone, Jobs insisted that it have a single button. Engineers pushed back, saying it would limit functionality, but Jobs understood that simplicity drives adoption. He held firm, and today that single-button concept has become a standard across industries. And again, another evolutionary psychological insight. Human brains are wired for simplicity. Research in cognitive psychology suggested decision fatigue, the mental drain from too many choices, reduces engagement. Jobs instinctively understood that by eliminating complexity, he increased the likelihood of mass adoption. What's the takeaway? Innovation doesn't mean overcomplication. It means refining, simplifying, and executing flawlessly. It means reducing it to the max. Ask yourself, is my business focusing on doing a few things exceptionally well, or trying to do too much? So in summary, what are the leadership lessons from Steve Jobs? The good, the bad, and the ugly. 1. Vision must be translated into action. Having a dream isn't enough. You need a team that believes in it and knows how to bring it to life. It needs to be practical. Number 2, excellence should inspire, not intimidate. Higher standards drive success, but fear stifles innovation. And 3, simplicity wins, always. The best ideas aren't just groundbreaking, they're executed in a way that feels natural and effortless. Look, Jobs wasn't perfect. He made mistakes, alienated people, and sometimes pushed too hard. But his ability to think differently, demand greatness, and implement flawlessly changed the world. Single-handed almost. How we communicate, listen to music, follow what's happening in the world. And that in a way that even my 81-year-old mother runs with her iPhone like butter on a hot summer day and calls me often, very often. All right. Thanks for listening or watching. And if today's episode hit home and you want to make better business decisions, tune in again. Subscribe, rate, and share with anyone passionate about leadership. And lastly, if you're interested in more, you can order my book. It has the same title as this podcast, The Mammoth in the Room. It offers a practical roadmap how great leaders and their teams embrace evolutionary truths for outstanding business results. And it does that in 3 sections: on people, on strategy, and on implementation. Until next time, lead with vision, pursue excellence, and simplify relentlessly. Nicholas Bocconi, The Mammoth in the Room.